What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Mountains!
All you ever learned is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
Goblins gone mad!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice meat. What's this?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains. There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Fright Flick FMK podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jay. And as always, I am joined by my good friend, Gentleman Jack. And I will say this right now, people. Me and Jack have been hanging out for a good minute tonight. So whatever happens on this show happens. But this week's show, y'all gonna waste a lot of y'all's time. You know, y'all busy people. Everybody's busy nowadays. If you're listening to this, it should be Friday. But made it through another fucking week, people. Family, it's that time where I need you to run to the kitchen, get your favorite beverage, come on back to the table, gather around, and we're gonna shoot a little bit of shit about a horror movie. Now, this week's show, it's kind of a new 2024 flick. You know, I've done recently, I've had interviews and stuff like that, and I've done some more extreme kind of movies, maybe what some people may think. This one, you will be able to stream it on Shudder. I think it's the 21st of March. I got this one off of Amazon. I rented it. Yeah, I think that's how you say that shit. You say shit different when you're a little tipsy, people. Rented it. Well, you know, whatever. You know what I mean, family. But I came across it. I looked for something to watch earlier today. I was like, you know, I don't know. I wasn't even planning on doing a show this week. I really wasn't. And then I watched this movie and I'm like, well, shit, you know, it's kind of, it's something, it's different. And so I decided that this week on this show, we're going to talk about Bloody Axe Wound. That's the name of the movie, Bloody Axe Wounds. Coming to Shudder, I think 21st of March. You can rent it on Amazon. That's what I did. I rented it. You know, I'm okay with renting a movie for $6 or $7 because it stops me from having to go to a movie theater, because that's one thing I don't do. I don't do people. I don't do going out and being around people. You know, I'm an introvert. I guess that's what you call us. But yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about this week. If you are new to this show, if you stumbled across us somehow, you know, by accident, you know, somebody tried to play a trick on you, like listening to this show. Around here, we love horror movies. We like to watch them, talk about them. And the name of the show, Fright Flick FMK. FMK, if you're more than a day old, you know, it means fuck, marry, or kill. And that's how we rate them. Whether or not I'd rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it. Fucking it, I'm gonna break it down for the new folks, for the ones just new to the show. Fucking it, that's your friends with benefits. That's your, you know, kind of bored on a Friday night. You ain't got shit to do, and you just pop this movie in, and it gives you your fix. You know, that it just kind of gets you through. It's that movie. That's your fuck. Then you get to Mary. Mary is that movie that you could watch any day of the week. Like, you love this movie. Like, you want to cuddle with this movie. You want to pull it close. You want to spoon with it. You know, that is the marry. And then the kill, I like to call it the sea donkey. That's the one night stand. That's the one you met when they said last call for alcohol, and you're looking around and everybody else is taking a piece of ass home and you want to take something home too. So you just grab the whatever's there, you grab it, you take it home, you do the deed. You're not proud of it the next day. You wake up the next day thinking, what the fuck did I do? And you're not proud of it. You did it that one time. You never want to see it again. You want to get up, go off, you know, put it in a cab, an Uber or whatever, send it on its way, and hope like hell you never bump into it again. That's the kill. And that's how we rate them here. And I will say this for anybody new that maybe kind of stumbled across us. If you're looking for a show that's going to give you some in-depth, deep thinking type review shit on a movie, you're in the wrong place, people. This isn't where you want to be. So if you're looking for somebody that's like in depth, going to break down this movie, tell you how it made me feel, tell me all this, like, you know, break down every little thing, this isn't the place for you. You know, pop yourself a Yui and get on out the door. You know, we're not for you. Around here, we like to drink, we like to curse, we like to make jokes, and we like to have a good time. I talk about a movie just like if we were sitting at a table somewhere having a drink together, and I'm just telling you about this movie I recently saw. And speaking of having a drink, everybody grab your drink, family, Fright Flick family. You should all have your drink in hand by now. You should know when I say grab your drink, we're ready to take this little break. Gentleman Jack break. Fucking delicious. He's always with me on the show. All the time. So, hey, I appreciate the following out there. I appreciate anybody who follows along with this shit show. I appreciate if you followed us on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever it may be. You know, I appreciate it. We do have if you're listening to this, we have a YouTube channel, Fright Flick FMK. If you see the video version of this, or if not, just the podcast, we appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you hanging out with us. We have a Facebook, Instagram, and X, Fright Flick FMK. Follow along with the shit show. Apparently, it's better for you if you have more followers and all that good shit. You know, so we appreciate anything. You know, any type of support around here, we appreciate it. But yeah, so housekeeping shit done. Now I want to talk about this movie, Bloody Axe Wound, 2024. 2024 American horror comedy slasher film written and directed by Matthew John Lawrence. There's a lot of shit that I could sit here and spit to you that I get straight off of IMDb or whatever. Google it. You know, I don't come up with shit off the top of my head when it comes to stuff like that. You know, I get that shit straight off the old interweb, and you can do the same. So I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time with it. Now, the one thing with this movie that made me want to watch it, because I'd never heard or really paid any attention to it. If I did come across it on like social media, I really maybe didn't watch it because I don't like watching trailers. I don't like reading reviews. I like to experience it. And so when I'm scrolling through Amazon today, when I came across it, I was like, oh, I seen the title. And then I just kind of clicked on it to kind of see who, I looked it up to see who was in it. And then I realized it said it had Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in it. I am a huge Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan. Like any movie with him, I'm down to watch it. Love this guy, so fucking good. And so I seen his name. I'm like, well, holy shit, I have to watch it. Now, if anybody else out there is a Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan, he plays a character in this movie called Butch Slater. You're not going to get much of him. He is kind of in the beginning, but it's Jeffrey Dean fucking Morgan. and he was just fucking it. It was him being him, and he's so fucking good in everything. So he's not like a main character in it. But when I seen the name, I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta watch it because it's Jeffrey Dean fucking Morgan. Um, so I want to read off like the kind of like the little IMDb of this thing or whatever. Um, Abbie Bladecut is a teenager torn between the macabre traditions of her family's bloody trade and the tender stirrings of her first crush. In the small town of Clover Falls, Abbie's father, Roger Bladecut, has built an infamous legacy by capturing real life killings on tape and selling them to eager customers. But as Abbie delves deeper into the grisly family business, she begins to wonder if it's time to take the family tradition to a new direction. Well, what I will say right out of the gate, um, this movie, there's going as you if you watch this movie, and I say if I tell everybody on this show, I will never get on here and tell y'all to not watch a movie. I tell everybody go watch it, have your own experience, have your own opinion. This is mine, people. This is my simple-minded high school diploma, South Carolina opinion on this movie. So, but I will never get on here. I will never say don't go watch it. I'm telling you to go watch it because have your own opinion of it. This is me just talking. So, um, I as you're watching this movie, there's going to be things that you're going to start asking yourself, like, why this or why that? And there's going to be certain things you're not going to get a fucking answer to. You're just not. It's not in the cards for you to understand exactly every little thing that goes on in this movie. It ain't going to be that way. It is. And one of the things that I like right out the gate, it gives off this kind of 80s slasher vibe to me, kind of 80s kind of slasher vibe, and I love a movie, I'm a Gen Xer. I love a movie that takes me back to, like, you give me the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s and I'm all for it. I love it. And this one kind of had that kind of same kind of feel. We got us a video store. You don't say that shit, you don't see it that much anymore. I remember in my little small town where I grew up, I think it was called Freeman's Video Store. You go up in there and can rent like movies and stuff. And that was, back then when I was coming up, we had the Blockbuster video. And I remember going to Blockbuster, damn it. Some good old Friday nights up in Blockbuster when you got to kind of roll up in there and just shelves and shelves of fucking movies and video games. And, that Friday night, mama taking you to Blockbuster or wherever, your little local store, and you get to rent that particular game or whatever, and back home, my small town, I still remember, like, I think it was like, I'm 99% sure Freeman's Video, like, name of it. I remember being in there and just like the walls and everything got shelves of, like, movies and stuff like that. And so this movie, Bloody Axe Wound, it takes place kind of in those times because you got like this little VHS kind of like setup. And I will say this, there will be spoilers. This hasn't come out on Shutter yet. I know you can rent it on Amazon, but it's coming to Shutter. So there's going to be some shit I'm going to spoil. And if you're not about it, if you don't want me to spoil some shit, then push pause, come back to us. But I will spoil the shit out of this thing. I want to try not to, though, because it is kind of newer to the video on demand type shit. It's a 2024 thing, but it's also like more independent style where it just didn't get a whole lot of like attention to like people, media telling you to go watch this movie. And oh, that was a Gentleman Jack break, family. Whew, I almost had a hiccup there. So um, this movie, it's like I said, there's some stuff in it that you're going to ask yourself while you're watching it, and you're going to go, well, why is that happening, or why did this? What's going on here? Where did this person come from? Why is he this way? And you're just not going to get those answers. You're not. It's just you just there's sometimes you watch movies and certain movies you kind of go into it and you kind of you don't have high hopes. And for me this was one of those. I went into it, I did not have high hopes. I kind of seen the title. I've never heard of it, because I don't dig much into movies because I don't want shit spoiled. I don't want reviews. I don't want all this shit. I just want to be able to watch it and experience it. So, you know, I usually when I go into watching horror movies, I don't go into with like these super high hopes. I just want to go into it and experience it. It's horror. It's somebody's idea of what they wanted to do. They did the movie and we get to enjoy it. I don't stress a whole lot. I just don't. And when I seen this one, it was the title and the picture on the thing kind of got my attention. I'm like, well, let me check this one out. I think it was like $6 or some shit to fucking rent it, which is way cheaper than going to the movie theater, people. But but yeah, and once I seen it had Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I was like, well, fuck, I want to watch it. And even though he's in it in the very beginning in a very short amount of time, and you will not see him again, you get your little fix of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and that's it. He doesn't. You're not going to get any more of him. But it 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 can be this movie can be confusing because you're sitting there if you're one of those who get caught up in trying to figure out the who, what, when, where, and all this other shit, you're not going to get those answers in this movie because it is basically we going to have us a person who sells videos to some people and they do their own movies. Like they're like independents. And I love independent here, people. If you've listened to me more in the day, we love independent horror here. So let's just say this little the Blade Cuts family. They do their own movies. They got their own video store, the little VHS video store. They sell that shit, and they do their own movies. The twist is they're movies, but they're also real. Like they are some killers that film this real life shit. It's real. Like they killing some people, and it goes to straight from murder to VHS, and you know, and I get it. Nobody in this little small town of I think it was like Clover Falls picks up on the fact you're like, holy shit, these murders are happening in our town, and then we get a movie about it, So, don't go if you're an overthinker, if you're one of those that go into a movie trying to break down every little fucking thing, you're not going to have a good time because you're going to sit there and overthink shit. You got to bring your simple mind to the table. Like mine, I'm simple minded. I'm not ashamed of it. Um, so if you're one of those that's going to overthink a movie and try to play 20 fucking questions with it and try to figure out like, well, that don't make sense. This don't make sense. What you're not going to have fun with it. I like to have fun, people. I like to watch a movie and just it is what it is. I went in this thing expecting nothing. And I just wanted to watch a movie. So we basically you're going to get us a father and daughter. And basically their business is making movies. But the business of making movies is really killing. Like, and I could go down the cast of people in this movie, but like you can Google this shit. But the one person that I liked in this movie was I think his name was Billy Burke. Billy Burke, because he plays the dad. And Billy Burke was also played the dad in the Twilight movies. I know a lot of you out there know the Twilight movies. I know the Twilight movies. I've seen them all. Am I one of them diehards? No, I enjoyed them, you know. But he plays in it. He also plays in oh, it just left my mind. Plays in this TV show now where he's like a firefighter. I watch it all the time. I can't. I just went blank. So you're not gonna Google Billy Burke and you'll be able to see it. But so the daughter. The daughter is wanting to take over the business. She feels like she is learned enough, like she's ready to step into the role. She feel like she can take the Bladecut name to the next level. Dad, you had a good run, but now it's time for you to hand off the reins to the daughter. The daughter is Abbie, played by Sari. I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of her name, Sari Arambulo. Arambulo. You know, Sari for the first name, Sari, Sari. I'm terrible. I'm a Southern guy, you know, so I know I said that shit wrong. But Abbie is the daughter. The dad, Roger. You know, dad is this killer. They've spent their life doing these movies, real life shit. So now the daughter is ready for her turn. You know, you'll see it because I don't want to spoil this one a lot because I know it's kind of new and it's going to come to Shudder and you'll be able to see it. There's certain things that, you know, if I tell you now, and I said I was going to spoil it, but I'm trying not to spoil a whole lot of it. But yeah, damn it. Yeah. So you'll see in the beginning, and it's going to kind of confuse you because you're going to be asking yourself the same probably questions that if you're simple like me, some of the same shit I was asking myself, like, what's wrong with the dad? Are these real? What is going? There was a lot of question marks that go up while I'm watching it, and those same question marks carried on to the end, and you don't get a fucking answer to it. You just kind of you're along for the ride, and so daddy daughter killing. They do real life killings and sell it to the select few of people out there. People who may not realize it. Even in this small town of Clover Falls, you know, don't recognize it. And they're for some reason they pick off these people based off like this yearbook. She's got the yearbook from Clover Falls. They got little circles on their faces, like those are the ones you got to take out. And it's they have to do this. Do you get the reason behind it? Not really. There's, you know, maybe that they're a shitty person. You know, 'cause there are a couple times where the dad actually talks about like one of the girls is kind of into like maybe some drugs or shit, and he's like, maybe that's why she deserved to die. That's why her circle is in the yearbook, and she's got to die. Um, this movie has kind of a love story twist to it because our girl Abbie, the daughter of, you know, Roger Bladecut, she wants to pick up the mantle. She wants to do it now. She feel like, and they have these rules, like, you know, and there's a part in the beginning where the dad takes her with him, like, oh, daddy's got to go to work. Do you want to come along? And you're thinking like they're off to make movies. No, they're making movies slash also really killing motherfuckers. So he's like, you want to come with me? And he takes her with him. And he's like, these rules of like, you know, like, don't ever let them see your face, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like he's honing her to be the next one. And there's a little twist to the dad that I'm not going to go into because you need to go watch this movie. And so the daughter wants to picks up the mantle, and she wants to be this one that carries on this family tradition of making movies and really killing people. Um, and I say there's a little love twist to it because our girl Abbie is going to come across this girl named, what the fuck was her name? Oh shit! Did I put it down? Oh shit! I don't even fucking remember now. Either way, who cares? I've been drinking, family. You all know how we do here. Sometimes we get a little too many gentlemen's in, and we just go with it. That's why you got to go watch the movie because, oh shit, hiccups. I'm not giving you everything. You're gonna be like, who the fuck was he talking about when he said Abbie and this girl? Now you need to go watch the movie. But there's gonna be a girl. Abbie, because of the yearbook, is going to decide that she needs to go infiltrate the school. She basically is going to play off like I was homeschooled, and now she's going to enroll herself into the high school, and she is going to basically scope out the people in this yearbook, like do the homework, like get all the information she needs to get to track them down to kill them. Like surveillance type shit. She's going to get all the information, like where they live, what's the best time to come after them, and her thing is once she gets it broke down, then she goes in and kills them. You know, do you get a reason why these particular people in the yearbook have their pictures circled in red and they have to die? No. Maybe I didn't pick up on it, but no. So, our girl Abbie is basically going to go to school and have this connection to this particular girl in the movie. And I wish I could remember her name. And I thought I put it in some little quick notes, but I totally don't have it. Um, I don't even know if I got. Let me stay with me, family. Let me see. Yeah, I don't have it pulled up in front of me right now. We're not gonna waste any more time because you need to go watch the fucking movie. But she goes to school. She comes across this one particular girl. They have a little connection there. Um, a little romance is brewing. So now we got our girl Abbie, who is, grew up with her dad doing this business of killing, making these movies, and now she wants to carry on she wants to carry the torch. She wants to pick the torch up. She wants to run with it and do bigger and better things. So she decides, okay, I want to enroll in school. It lets me get a closer look at these people that's in this yearbook that have to die. And she's doing the work. So she's in school. She comes across this one girl whose picture is circled. She's supposed to die. And their sparks will fly, people. We get us a little crush. Abbie is gonna have her first crush. Her first like holy shit. She sees this girl, they start hanging out, they become good friends, and she starts having these the feelings, the butterflies are going, butterflies in the belly, arrows from Cupid are shooting. Like she's falling for this girl. But daddy and the family business is like, hey, she's got to die. And next thing you know, Abbie's kind of changing her way of thinking. Maybe she doesn't want to go with the old family tradition. Maybe she wants to change it up because now she's met this girl and she's like, well, why does she have to die? She's having some feelings. Um, this movie puts off that kind of slasher 80s vibe. To me, it did. Was it doesn't really give you a timeline of where it's how it's based on like the 80s, 90s or whatever, because it all gets kind of mixed up. And I'm the type that I don't get caught up in those weeds, people. Some people will watch it and they will try to break down like, well, the clothes look like this, and there's at one point it looks like she has a phone, and then the next point, I don't get caught up in that shit. I just want to watch the movie and just I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you how I kind of felt as I'm watching it. Like I said earlier, I love any type of movie that kind of gives me a little taste of like how I grew up, the 80s, 90s type shit. And it does give that. I like that the feeling of it being in that timeline. I like the whole kind of 80s whatever slasher vibe, and the people in this movie. There's going to be some cheesy shit that is said. There's going to be some stuff that you kind of be like, what the fuck? There's going to come a point in this movie where you almost get a little bored, because I did. There's a point once it gets in the beginning, you're kind of like, okay, I'm feeling it, feeling it, and then it kind of gets to a point where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm a little bored, and I always say, like, if I'm watching a movie and I go to my phone and I start scrolling through my phone, it's kind of looking up at the movie and back, then I'm getting kind of bored. And this one did that. There hits a point where I'm kind of like, what the fuck is this? And I'm kind of bored, and I go to my phone, and then I kind of get back to it, and it starts getting into some killing. It starts getting into some, there's one particular kill scene where once again there's a girl here, I don't remember her name, but it some of the killing does kind of go over the top, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with giving me that little slasher type vibe, and it being like that is so unrealistic type shit, but who cares? It's a fucking movie. And I'm okay with a movie that kind of gives me that little extreme, like, girl gets shot in the stomach, she pulls particular thing out of her stomach, everything in her kind of like falls out, blood and everything, and it's just almost like over the top, but I'm okay with it. But yeah, there's a part in this movie like that, and you need to watch it. So it basically going to get to the point to where that old saying, blood is thicker than water type thing. Because at some point, our girl Abby is going to have to figure out what's more important: the family, her dad, the business, or this new love that's coming to her life, this new person, all these feelings she's never experienced before, but now she's got them. You know, does love conquer all? Is blood thicker than water? Um, there, and I will say, if you watch this, if there's certain times you watch a movie and you just kind of, go into it with no expectations. And that's kind of the way I go into almost every fucking movie. I just kind of go into any movie I watch of like, just like, fuck it. I just want to watch it and then experience it. And this is one of those. Don't get caught up in the fucking weeds, man. Just watch the movie, because you're going to have questions in your head when you're watching it, and you're not going to get answers. You're not. It's just one of those. Just jump on the fucking ride and just go with it. And I'm okay with that. I am completely fine with the movie that does that. I will say, I said earlier when I read the description, like the little comedy side of it, it's hard. It's not, I won't say it's hard, but sometimes you catch movies, like horror movies, when they throw the comedy thing in there, it's kind of like some people are, they're not a fan of that. They're not a fan of the whole comedy horror type thing. And it's hard to make it work. I've watched movies that it was just terrible, in my opinion, shitty, didn't work. And I've watched some that it just fucking worked. So this one's going to have that. It's going to have that there's going to be comedy parts in it when you're watching it, and And for me, this is me, people. I told you earlier. My opinion, my simple-minded opinion. I'm telling you to go watch it. I had fun with this movie. I had fun. I had that little kind of part kind of towards the middle where I kind of got bored for a second. It didn't last long, but it was just this little. There's a point in this thing where I kind of like, okay, let me grab my phone and see what's going on in the social media world. But then, it kind of drew me back in. Um, I always say I don't want to get bored in a movie, but I did for just a brief little period, but it brought me back. And other than that little spot in the movie where I got that way, I was enjoying the ride. From the beginning, it kind because I'm starting to ask myself questions like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is this? Why is this way? Why is he this way? What is going on? And I kind of it kept my attention. And then as it kind of went on, you know, you start wondering like, okay, you know, Daddy wants to do things a certain way, but our girl Abby has met her first real crush, and now she's kind of, she's liking where she's at with this person, and you're kind of wondering how it's going to turn out. It, I there's an I liked, and I really really liked the idea of our girl Abby being the one that was going to be like this killer. Because in the beginning, like the dad was like this killer, and now the daughter's coming along. She's like, it's my time. I want to take it up. I want to do it. She's excited. You can tell, and I like the fact that it was her, that it was a lady that was going to be like, I want to be the one to fuck people up. I want to be the one that swings that fucking axe and bust people's heads open. And they do in this movie. It does give you that slasher feel. There's going to be parts where you see a lot of blood. There's going to be parts where you see a head kind of busted open type stuff. It gives me that, and I'm a gore whore. I love anything that's like blood, guts type, over the top. I don't care. I love it. And this one gives me that little feel, man. I enjoyed. I'll tell you right now, people. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed Bloody Axe Wound. Um, it's just one of those that I went into it, just enjoyed the ride. Don't overthink it. Just, some people do that. Some people are overthinkers. They get caught up in the weeds. They get caught up in the all this shit. And I feel like for me, if I tried to do that, it would take away me enjoying the movie. I'm not that type of guy. I'm telling you, from this old South Carolina country boy, of just me sitting down watching this movie and what I liked or disliked on it. Like I said, is there cheesiness shit in this movie? Yes. Is there stuff that's said and you're sitting there going, that's so fucking stupid? Yes. Is there killing and scenes and bloodness? You're going, that's over the top. Yes. But it was fun. The comedy side of it was good. It's one of those horror movies that language wise, I know some people out there is big on like maybe not a whole lot of bad language. You know, you could sit your kids down to watch this movie and it not be too much for them, in my opinion. Um, you know, we got a 10-year-old that will watch anything. Like she loves it, and I would like to sit down and watch this with her because, it's got some younger kids in it and stuff like that. But this is kind of a good little horror movie to just be like, somebody who's not really big into horror type stuff. It's not going to give you crazy jump scares. It's not going to give you over the top killing type stuff. And it's kind of got like a little funny vibe to it, to where you can kind of laugh at some shit and just kind of be like, what the fuck is going on type of way. And that's what Bloody Axe Wound is, man. It's just a fun little horror movie. It's not crazy long. I think it's like maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Um, yeah, I was glad that come across it and decided to, rent it on Amazon and watch it. And and I didn't go too much into it because this is a newer one. A lot of people have not heard of it because it's not being pushed, you know, but it is on Amazon to rent. I think it's coming to Shutter. If you don't have Shutter, it's an awesome fucking um streaming service for like horror movies and stuff. I want to say it's like 21 March is coming to Shutter. So I didn't go too much into it because I don't want to spoil a whole lot of it. I did spoil some, but some of the stuff you're just gonna have to watch it and I'm kind of curious to like how other people may see it. Because I had questions the whole time I'm watching it. There's questions going through my mind like, well, why is this way or why is this, and you're just not going to get answers. Just fucking go along and enjoy it and have a good time with it. And I had a good time with it. This is one of those movies, people, that I will say this. I will fuck this movie. This will be a friends with benefits movie because it was just a fun movie that you could just pop in and just, whether, sitting around watching it, having it kind of playing in the background type thing. It's got some funny stuff in it. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. And I will fuck this movie. And yeah, I don't know how other people may, view it or what they think of it. I don't get into, I don't watch trailers on movies until after I watch a movie. I try to avoid trailers. I try to avoid reading reviews because, I feel like sometimes people can read some and it kind of automatically turns them against it. I will never do that on this show. I will tell you all, no matter what movie I watch or talk about, I'm telling you to go watch it and have your own opinion, have your own feelings for it. If you want to swing by, leave me a comment or whatever of what you thought about the movie, that's fine. That's so I welcome it because this is my opinion. And I had a good time with Bloody Axe Wound, and I hope you all take the time to give it a chance. Hour, 20 minutes of your day. You know, it was a fun watch for me. I enjoyed it. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's gonna wrap it up because I try not to give away a whole lot. But yeah, I appreciate you all stopping by. I know this was kind of a shorter show maybe, but I appreciate everybody who stops by and listens to this shit show and supports us. Next week, I'm not sure what's coming next week. I do know that if you've listened to the show before, we have our good friend Lucy from the land down under. She has recommended a movie that she would like to come on here and talk about. And if everything goes the way we're planning it, next week's show will probably be me and Lucy discussing this movie that she picked and wants to talk about. I have yet to see the movie and I'm going to have to watch it. So be on the lookout for that. Um, but yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who stops by and listens to this shit show, to listen to us just kind of ramble and have a good time talking about movies and drinking. And I appreciate you all, you small, great group of people, members of the Fright Flick Fucked Up family. Thank you. Um, Go support the shit show. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X. Yeah, I say it now and I say it all the time. Go support, especially independent horror. That's my favorite genre. If I had to do a show and pick one particular genre I had to talk about every week, it would be independent. And movies like this, where it's like, it's not real big and out there. I enjoy them. I've watched some shit shows, some just terrible ones that I just fucking hated. But And then there's ones where I just fucking love them. And then there's ones where you just have a good time with it. And that is our fuck of the week. Our friends with benefits, bloody axe wound, and it was good. Had a good time. Now, I hope you all have a great weekend. And yeah, be on the lookout for next week's show. Not sure what it's going to be. I just told you what I hope, if everything falls into place right, of what it will be. So, yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's show. Short, sweet, bloody axe wound. Go check it out. You can rent it on Amazon or wait. 21 March, it's going to hit Shudder. But thank you all again for following along with this shit show and giving us a few minutes of your day. Now, family, you all know what time of the show this is. This is that time of the episode, people, where I need you all to reach over. I need you to gather up all your shit. I need you to grab your drinks, put your chairs away, and y'all get the fuck out of here.